is Michael with the Rusty Chatters podcast.
Welcome.
Just want to welcome Russell, Spencer, and Barry, and me, Mike Howell, with this new podcast we got coming at you.
What's this show about, Michael? Fill us in.
So last week, I never got to my question, which was, when was a time that you used up all of your good karma? What was an event that you did that absolutely used up all of it?
Well, I know one thing that used up all my good karma. I just want to apologize to my aunt and uncle. Aunt Sharon and Uncle Michael, love you guys. I know you just had to listen to some craziness from last week that probably opened your eyes to something you never want to know about your nephew.
Yeah. He ain't no good.
I ain't no good, but let me tell you something. I love y'all. Shout out to
Poop
y'all.
on his wiener.
Oh, man. Dude, they had just such an earful last time, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny
That's not
because
using up your good karma, man.
it is using up a good karma because they had to, like, subject themselves to that.
They decided to listen to our
Hold on, are they
provocative,
listeners?
vulgar-
Yeah, dude, they listen every week. They like my Uncle Michael will like text me all the time, like, okay, yeah. The other day he texted me because I guess he finally got around to it. But remember when we were talking about
Got around to texting you?
Yeah, well, yeah. Remember when we were talking about like whenever like if I remember that I'm breathing while I'm trying to go to sleep, it fucks me up.
Yeah, it does. It's
Oh,
weird.
he texted you?
Yeah, he
to breathe?
texted me. He's like, remember to breathe. I was like, God damn it. Yeah.
It's so funny how our podcasts are so vulgar and disgusting, and his family's like so supportive. Like, that's my nephew.
Yeah, but like it's funny because like dude, they kind of help me out with it in some ways because like Mama and Papa know I do a podcast, but they're always like, "What's the name of your podcast?" Like,
Don't
no,
tell
don't worry
them.
about it.
Don't
And
worry,
like Aunt
Mama.
Sharon and Michael will be there, and they'll be like, "Mama, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Mama. Just don't worry about it." It's just
You
is what
won't
it is."
ever think of him the same, Memo. Oh, Jay's calling. Hey, get his ass on the fucking air.
All
Put him on
right. So
speaker.
if you're a listener of last week's podcast, our boy Jay that sent an email is calling right. Let's see what he's got to say.
Put that sumbitch on speaker.
What's up, Jay?
First of all, I know that wasn't Michael that just said that.
That
No,
was me.
Russell.
That was me you shitting on, Jay. I ain't no fuckboy. I ain't never been a fuckboy.
I can't even tell what he's saying. I can't hear what he's saying.
He said he ain't never been no fuck boy. What you want, Jay?
What are y'all doing?
We're filming a podcast right now. You're
Right in the middle
You're
of one,
on it, too,
actually.
buddy.
Yeah, and you're on it now.
Oh God!
Dance for me, puppet.
Then I can't ask you. I was gonna ask you then.
You can
Oh, you
ask me-
absolutely can?
Yo, you absolutely can.
Hell
What
yeah,
you asking
drop
me?
that shit. Well, go on now.
Come on
Jay.
now. Don't be shy.
This is dead space you filling in.
Come on, kitten. I won't tell.
Did you get Spencer? Did you get that rash figured out that you had that real bad rash?
Damn.
Oh, you son
No,
of
he
a bi-
didn't.
No, I didn't. But
No, he didn't, and it's spreading. To
It
all
is
of
spreading.
He
Us.
got
and the Rusty Chatters crew.
he got that hepatitis syphilades.
Oh, the herpaganosyphilades.
Oh man,
Well, what's up, Jay?
no, dude. I was just asking about that, dude.
No, that's it. Just
I
hey.
was just wondering about you.
I know you're really itching for me to like give you the cream that I was using. I'm gonna leave it in the truck for you in the morning, man. I know you
bet
got
you'll
problems.
forget about it.
That was a pun.
Yeah, man.
It was like, dude, I got it for you if you need it.
I think you gave it to me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, hang up the phone, that sumbitch. We got a podcast to figure.
All right, Jay.
I'll hang up on him.
All right, man. I'll talk to you in a little while.
Shout out to Jay.
That soft-headed sumbitch that calls
Jay.
in. We love him.
Soft-headed motherfucker. Big head.
That soft-headed son of a bitch.
All right. Speaking of karma,
Speaking of karma, I was like, dude, he's like, I heard what you said, and I was like,
Bro, we ain't even paused.
what the hell's happening right now?
All right. So back to the original question. What was the time that you actually used up all of your good karma?
well, I somehow in my life it just started to tip in the good direction. But for like the first 13 years of my life, it was pretty much all negative. I should have had a lot more. I'm talking. I used to throw D batteries at cars, all that stuff. But one of the ones I think about more than anything is there was this lady used to live next to me named Miss Womack, and I was like 6. And she walked out there, and this is after it had rained really hard in Mobile County, so it's kind of soggy.
yeah.
And she walked up to the fence and seen me, and I guess I was a cute kid to her. She said so, and she goes,
Back when he had hair.
"Bitch, yes, I've been bald since I was 4. Joke's on you." All right, but anyway, I'm sitting there like outside doing what kids do, and she walks up to the fence because she's my neighbor, and she goes, "Hey, you're such a cute kid, yada yada. You look just like your dad." And I was like, "Oh yeah." and I reached down and grabbed a handful of mud and started pelting this 90-year-old woman with mud.
Oh, dang.
Just started hammering her down, and she ran to her house, and she's like, oh, and I was like, and just hitting her. I don't know why I would do this to an old woman, but yeah, I got
You're
a
a
really
fucking dick. That's why.
Yeah.
got a really bad spanking, and it was, man, I tell you, it was some kind of demonic what I did right there. I was like Dennis the Menace, but
I mean,
violent.
honestly,
I mean, as we've learned from the previous podcast, like, if Russell didn't like move in with his grandparents like later on in life, yeah, Russell, we'd see him on the busted mobiles all the time.
Oh man, I was a shithead.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh my god.
But I mean, you've had quite a time to like build up good karma since then.
So, back when we were younger, talking about like what used it all up.
Not even younger, just any story like recently, or even younger.
This is I mean, I was a little younger. I mean, this is back in like high school days. I mean, I'm like 26 now, I guess. And this is back in like high school days. We actually went out and we stole a big chicken head from a gas station. Right?
That was you guys?
Dude, y'all stole that chicken
That
head?
was y'all? Hell
So we-
yeah,
so-
dude! I remember
so-
that.
So we took the chicken head, right? And
Statute of limitations. Go ahead, you're good.
and we stuck it in the middle of the road down to like one of those half-mile, 1 mile, 3/4 mile. You know all the roads over there in Balladash.
So explain the chicken, Barry. What do people? The listeners don't know what you're talking about. We all do, but explain this chicken.
It's a big fiberglass chicken head on the back of an El Camino.
Yeah, it's like for this. It's so. Obviously, y'all don't know where, but no,
That
it's off
was
the-
on the street of my house, by the Bryant Center.
Yeah.
We'd stick it in the road in the middle of the night so cars would hit it. And you know what? A few of them did. And you know what we did? We wound up like running to my buddy's house that we were doing it with. Not gonna throw out any names in case I get arrested. Next
Statute of
week.
limitations. You're good, except for
man.
murder.
And so
It's all hearsay.
yeah, hearsay. I mean, I wasn't really a part of it, was I? Wink.
Oink, oink.
But no, we'd stick that big ass chicken head in the road, and we'd wait on cars to fucking hit it. And you know, some of them go around it. You know, some of them wouldn't. It was kind of on like the downslope of a hill. So
Those
it
were
was a
your
pretty good.
texter and drivers.
So it was like a pretty good little spot. We'd wait on the ditch and wait on.
This is back when you had to pay 5 cents per character, man. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Dude, and we would laugh our fucking asses off when a car hit it. But like, we could have really hurt somebody. But 2 cars hit it that night. One of them hit it and kept going. One of them hit it and called the cops. And they hit it and got the fuck out. So we all like, there's like 10 of us. We just like laughing down the road, like running down the road, like back to where we were supposed to actually be at for the night, staying the night with our buddy. And we all run inside and we're like, act like we were asleep on the couch, like fucking like one would do, you know?
Peeking
And,
one eye open, like, boop.
And clearly, like, someone obviously seen a big ass group of kids like running down the fucking thing. And we're all like laid out in the living room, like acting like we're all asleep. There's like 10 of us right there. And homeboy's mom comes to the door when the police were knocking. I was like, "Hey, blah blah blah. We think your kids are up there. Put a big ass chicken head in the road." And they were like, some cars hit it, and they're like, "No, they've all been asleep for hours." Like,
What a G, bro.
yeah,
like,
right
she opened the
G's
door.
right
Was like,
there.
we was all laid out, had blankets on us and everything at this point in time. And then she shut the door and she's like, "What the fuck were y'all doing?" Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been asleep. She's like, "I fucking doubt it." And no, she knew the truth. And after that, we weren't allowed at his house anymore. But she got us out the heat, though. She definitely did.
Oh yeah.
But that probably burned up a lot of my good karma. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
this
but-
isn't. I've got a story, but it's not really so much of burning up good karma. Per
Well,
se.
it better be,
No, you've
Well, no-
already told a story.
No,
Yeah.
I
And
want.
now it's
because your other
Michael or
story
Russell's
was
turn.
literally about masturbation, and it didn't talk anything.
Well, I
about
just
good
want to talk
karma.
about what Russell was talking about with the old lady. So, like, as I was cleaning.
Spencer, as an adult, has also hit old ladies with mud.
no, but like for real though, there's this. She's like mid-90s, like old lady.
Oh god.
Old as death.
That was on my route. You know, like when I first started cleaning pools and stuff like that. And one day I was there, I had my earphones in, just like chilling, just minding my business. You know, and she's decrepit, like she's rough 90. But anyway, so she starts. I'm like just like looking down.
Is there a
just-
good 90?
No.
Okay, keep it
Yeah,
rolling.
yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But anyway, I was sitting there, my mom just had my headphones in, just like tunnel vision as you get, and I was just sitting there like testing the water, so I'm checking the chemicals on it or whatever. And at that point, she had done walked up to me, and I hadn't realized it. And so I stand back up and I look in her direction, and for like 0.5 seconds, I thought it was a zombie. Like legit, legit. Like I was like, oh my god, what the fuck?
The
And-
Walking Dead.
Yeah, like legit. And she's all like, I just want to let you know that I'm no longer carrying this pool service anymore. And I'm like, oh.
Why? Because you're about to die?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, yeah, that's fine. It's like I just like started the route. It had nothing to do with me, but I was just like, for like 0.2 seconds or whatever, I like legitimately like everything ran through my house about to get eaten by a zombie. Like that's how decrepit
And
this
as
old
soon
woman
as that
was.
happened, she got her denture glue in there and drove her ass to Cracker
No,
Barrel.
she was like, I just want to let you know, and she was like kind of like hobbled, like turned a whole 180 in like 5 seconds, you know, and just like creeped on away, like
On a
hunched over and
stroller.
everything, and I was like, oh man, that was
Little walker.
that was scary. But anyway, that was just a little side anecdote. But
It was like the Shining shower scene.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I don't really get how that used up all your good karma.
it's not about that. It was just more like the old lady story, like him throwing like mud at an old lady. And I'm just like screaming at old lady because I thought she was the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway,
Mine had to do. I think I was like.
Yours will be the worst of all. I'll go ahead and
if
predict.
you bring up anything, it's automatically going to be the worst of it all.
Yeah, it was like I was 18 or 19, and I mean I'll blame it all on Andrew. He's my brother. So we drove down. My sister, she's playing in like the I forget. She plays softball, but it was like for the world champion whatnot, and it was down in Florida, and Disney World happened to be like 30 minutes away. So me, my dad, and my brother Andrew, we went to Disney World, and Andrew was like, "Hey, I'll be back in about 10 minutes." And we're like, "Where are you going?" He's like, just wait here." I was like, "Okay." So we're waiting, and he comes back, and he has this paper in his hand, and it's like one of those little handicap slips where you can pass the line.
Oh, what a shithead.
Yeah. So he's like, I was like, "How did you get that?" He's like, "Well, I just acted like, you know, my knee was messed up or my ankle, and I just limped in there, signed this paperwork, and then walked out with it." And so he's like, "Now we don't have to wait in line." So I was like, "Well,
Got it now. Might as well
got it
use
now.
it.
Yeah, got it now. Might as well use it." So, you know, we're like literally, I mean, we're not even playing it like we're handicapped. We're literally running.
You're sitting there walking past all those South Korean and Vietnam vets that couldn't quite claim disability, and you're just laughing at them.
No, these middle class people who, you know, couldn't afford the expensive tickets, you know, to get the express pass.
Guys, I got two things for you. The first thing is, do you remember that time?
Well, hold on, Barry. You just gonna change my whole
Yeah,
subject?
I thought that was the whole story.
No, that wasn't the whole story.
It seemed like that was over.
Asshole. So, anyways, the fact is that it's me, my brother, and my dad, and we're literally running past like everybody in line. And these lines are like 45 minutes.
So only one
long.
person in the group needs the handicap pass
Yeah.
to skip everybody?
Yeah, and everybody
Yeah,
else
so you
who's
wanna
with
ride by
them.
yourself?
Yeah, everybody else who's with them can literally go along with them. So only one person.
We need more
needs to be
cripple
handicapped.
friends.
Yeah. Well, this is where all the good karma goes out the window, and I ruined it all. So, you know, after we have our fun at Disney World, we're passing up all these lines, getting on the rides for free, or like extra fast. Not even 3 months later, we're watching the news, and this thing comes up about Disney taking away their handicap passes because people have been abusing them.
Damn.
And I was like, ooh, I might have an
contributed.
idea of who contributed to that.
Everybody's watching all y'all just walk with like normal 2 legs and everything. And just,
Oh, dude, we
Normal
were getting
two-leg.
so many mean looks going up to the ride because they were like, "These guys, what are they doing? Like with their handicap pass?" You know, Andrew was trying his best to limp.
Oh, man.
But it
that makes
wasn't.
it worse.
Like,
wasn't a
he's
limp.
just dragging the
He
side
would
of his
limp
shoe down the
literally
road.
about 30 yards before we would see the people at the front. He would start limping, but everybody else behind us in that 45-minute line would just watch us, and then we're like, they were just running, and now he's limping.
Andrew, you gotta be
he
ashamed
blew
of
out his
yourself.
ankle
I
on
mean,
the way
you,
running.
you could
know?
be
Yeah.
mentally handicapped, but that's besides the point. Guys, do y'all remember the time me, Spencer, and Michael drove all the way up to Georgia, got a hotel because we thought Six Flags was open?
Oh,
and it
yeah.
was not.
Oh yeah, dude. One time, like,
Shit.
dude, I remember one time, like, me and Barry was hanging out. We was at the gym one day, and he's like, it's like February. We don't understand. Like,
man, you want to go to Six Flags?
yeah, he's just like, hey man, you want to go to Six Flags? And I was like,
My man just smoked a
Yeah.
doobie and hit a Sunkist can.
oh, he done
and
hit
he's
2
all wanted to-
GBs and everything. This was back when Barry was smoking weed.
Yeah.
I was
And he was
man.
just like,
You want to go to Six Flags?
hey man, you want to go to Six Flags? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, when do you want to go? He's like, let's go this weekend. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So he called Michael. I was like, Mike, you want to go to Six Flags? It's middle of fucking,
yeah.
middle of fucking February. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
We
All
wondered
right,
why our
dude, this is
ho-
so much
we wondered
fun.
why our hotel was so close to the fucking.
Oh, it
theme
was
park.
like-
Yeah,
Literally,
we
we
got
could
the hotel
walk.
that's literally sitting outside Six Flags Atlanta. And
didn't
like
have
it
to
was
drive.
Yeah, it was like super cheap and
Staring at
everything.
that bitch.
We're just like, dude, this is like gravy. Like, dude, look at this price. And we like split like $75 3 ways for each night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
living
like,
like
we
kings
actually
in
no,
Atlanta.
we
drove
did drive.
6 hours.
We did drive to the parking lot, and we get there and we're like, we're so excited that there's like parking right up near the gate. We're like, dude, there's nobody here. We're gonna get the best parking, and the lines are gonna be not even long.
It's like,
Then we
you-
get up to the
Oh, we
door.
were right.
Nobody's there because it's closed.
So this is closed for the season. Like it had like the open update on.
Yeah, it was like it didn't open up till like April, like 2 months later. Like,
So what do? Me and
party in
Barry,
Atlanta.
me and Barry smoked some weed, and we went to the aquarium,
Hell yeah.
Hell we did.
which was great because watching them Goliath groupers.
Oh, when the jellyfish.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Bear's
dude,
just
and they
tripping
also
ball.
and Atlanta is the only place in the continental United States that has whale sharks.
Whale sharks.
Yes.
So that was awesome. But what was
It was a
funny is like, was
whale
like
of a
well,
good
while
time.
we're here, we might as well like go out and do something. And so we decided is like, hey, let's call an Uber and drive like get this Uber
We
to
went to
drive
the
like.
underground bar.
And it was an underground bar, but we got this Uber lady to drive us to like 30 minutes way out of her way, like into downtown Atlanta, and went to this bar or whatever. And then we just like bullshitting with like the whole time. We got her to go inside and like party with us and everything.
Hell
We was
yeah.
like buying her drinks and everything, just
Yeah,
like
we
hanging
did.
out.
She
I
clocked
completely
out.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
dude.
Yeah,
dude.
dude, she came in and was like hanging
I was
out with us.
blazed.
It was like a little rabbit hole like
Yeah,
bar.
dude,
man.
you guys are always distracting people from their work. If it ain't the pizza guy or the fucking garbage man or the pesticide guy, it's the fucking Uber driver. They got shit to do, and you're like, hey, just come party with us. Fuck your job, bro. Let's go. And they're like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know
she
what?
did.
Fuck this place.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
When
go
you
party.
bring the type of energy that me, Barry, and Spencer have, you don't want to miss up that opportunity. It's a
Yeah,
lifetime.
no, she came in. She was like buying her drinks, hanging out, dancing around, having a good old time. And then she was like, all right, I got to get back to work. These guys
Oh,
don't
she-
want to fuck me, so I
she would
guess I'll
talk
move
about that
on.
one-
She probably hung out for what, 30, 45?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was about an hour and a half or
Yeah.
so. And
Damn.
she realized like we weren't hitting on her at all.
Should we talk about that one time that we had in Atlanta? Russell, you were there.
That
I was
that's
not
not
there.
a very fun time.
Oh,
to
it
even-
wasn't, but it was extra sketchy because of Spencer.
To
Oh,
be
okay.
fair, Spencer did
Well,
sort of.
Spencer, had a
Spencer
sketchy,
caused
Spencer
it.
let a homeless guy follow us around in Atlanta one time. He like, the homeless guy's like, "Let me walk you where you're going, man. You wouldn't know these other guys mess with you." And Spencer paid the guy $5.
No, you know what? But if we're gonna go into this time,
Russell has a question he wants to ask the podcast as well. But this kind of bounces off of that is when you don't know somebody, you don't want to be bothered by them. And like you can't talk to me in a certain way.
Yes. So, building on what he's saying,
And
I have a hard time with sarcasm with strangers or sometimes joking with a stranger. So if me and you aren't like cool when you come at me with a joke, and I guess it depends on delivery, but most people aren't good with delivering jokes. When you come at me with a joke, it just seems like you're an asshole because I don't know you. So if you're gonna like comment and make fun of my appearance, and I've never met you before. You're just some dude. You're like literally just like a schoolyard bully in my eyes because I don't know you, and you're like, hey, what's up, man? You short little goblin guy. And I'm like, I don't fucking know you, man. You just came off as an asshole. Like, what if I just came up to you and
wanna
insulted
fucking
you?
Get your ass beat in the parking lot?
Yeah, exactly. It just comes off as not fun. But apparently, you know, I should learn how to take a joke. But here's the thing. I don't know that you're joking 'cause I don't know you. I don't know your context. So that's where it gets weird.
Yeah, well, see, last weekend we was out and about doing our thing, and we decided to call it a night, and we was walking back, and we passed by these guys, and this so it adds context to what Russell said in rebuttal. Now it was a group of about three or four guys or whatever, and we were he was walking by him, and the guy, like the big guy right there, he's like kind of fat or whatever. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Stone Cold Steve Austin? What you doing?" It says that to Russell, and Russell's like, "What the fuck?" And he turns around, and is like, "Not much, Fat Albert. What's up?" And then and we kept walking, and they just kind of like killed it. We all kind of like laughed it off, but this kind of goes to Russell's thing. It's just like, all right, like why would you say, yeah, I'm bald, but like Like, I'm not sitting here busting beers over my head, screaming Stone
Dude,
Cold
I had a-
316.
Man,
you
I
know?
had a guy come in the pawn shop the other day, and that man threatened to whoop my ass, and I kept my cool.
Barry, that's very unusual.
There you go, Barry.
You must have been a little tipsy that day.
I'm not gonna lie, I did hit a dab pin. I was a little. I went a dab. It was like the Delta 8, and I was a little baked. And so, you know, guy comes in. You know, it's like right at 7 o'clock. Michael went to hand me a beer. He didn't put it in my hand. He just let it go.
Put it in your hand.
He let it go like 4 inches above my hand. Just dropped it. And but no, this guy comes in. He's like right at 7 o'clock. We're already trying to shoo people out the door to get them to the little window where they can come in and, you know, make their pawns, you know, cash their checks, whatever. And a guy comes in with 3 guitars and like 2 pedals, which at the pawn shop you're not gonna sell a pedal. You'll sell a guitar, but you will not sell a pedal. The pedal will be
Unless
there
it's
forever.
unless it's a really good pedal.
Everything in total was very, very cheap.
Not just like the old Boss metalcore anybody wants.
All right, the guy had, it was like Rogue brand. It was all like, everything was very, very cheap, like guitar, like equipment, like, you know, it had like some sort of like,
Old first act going on in there.
yeah, it's all very, very cheap. And well, the guy like hit me with a story, because everyone hits you with a story of why they need money. It doesn't make any sense. Just shut the fuck up and tell me how much you need, and I can say yes or no. But
Exactly.
like,
Which is going to be no for giving me a story.
yeah, exactly. If you give me like this long thought out story, like it's gonna make me give you more money, it's like it's not gonna work. Like, just tell me what you need. Like, I'm sorry, I can only do so much. Like, this isn't my money. You know, I'm not. All I can say is yes or no, and I can tell you what I can
Yep.
or cannot do. And but everyone thinks it's like I have the power. I do not have the power.
I have the power.
Barry, why did you sell this man a toothbrush for $50?
Yeah,
Why'd you take it? Why'd you pawn that toothbrush for $50? It was just a Philips, not even electrical.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got 3 raisins here.
his wife had passed away.
But no, but the guy's like, hey man, which there was, you know, a big hurricane just hit Louisiana, hit a little bit of us, didn't really affect us, you know, more Mississippi, Louisiana. And he's like, yeah man, I got some family from New Orleans come up and stay, which makes sense, you know, people from New Orleans will probably come to Mobile right now because we're not underwater and we have power. And
Ooh.
he's like, I just want to make sure, you know, have enough, you know, money for food and on. And I'm like, yeah man, it makes sense. Yeah,
Well, all
dude.
due respect, sir, I don't give a shit about any of that. This is a business. Get to it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm like, yeah, man, it makes sense. Like, yeah, dude, you know, like, you need money for things like that, yeah. And yeah, food costs money. You're like, yeah, it makes sense. And he's like, well, I need like $350, and it's like, all right, man, well, let me see what I can do, because you know, it's like, I'm at least giving the benefit of the doubt. I was like, man, this stuff looks kind of cheap. Let me look it up. And I look at like the 3 guitars and the 2 pedals, whatever, and dude wanted like $350.
Each guitar was like barely $100 a piece, probably.
Brand new.
Got it from Walmart.
Barely
Fender.
$150. Like they were just junk. Everything was kind of junk. And like I stretched it to the absolute max. Like, man,
Was that
it's like
because of the story?
everything it did equal out to about $600. Like everything he had, because he had the pedals and like, you know, he had a couple pedals and all this. Like everything equaled out to about $600 of like brand new retail.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I will give you, you know, I'm thinking in my head, I was like, I can get this guy about $180. And I was like, sir, and I was like, I understand your situation because I'm being nice and being thoughtful. At the end of the day, I don't want to deal with the shit. You know what I mean? And the guy, you know, I was like, man, but there's just, I was like, I'm pretty far off from what you're needing, man. I was like, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you out tonight. He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, starts picking up his stuff, like, being able to get out. He's like, oh man, just curious, like, what can you help me out with tonight? I was like, well, man, like I said, it's like not near what you're asking for. And I was like, but man, I can get you about $180. And,
You just shit on that man's parade, man. That ain't enough for
and that
crack
man
rocks.
just
You know what they're
straight
going
up
for these
goes-
days?
He has like a 10 to 15 second. That's a long time. Like if you really like
Yeah.
count it out, that's a long time. Fake hysterical laugh, like. And I was like, yeah, man. And like, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you know, I was like, that's what I can help you with. I was like, still like trying to keep my customer service voice on. And
He just didn't even budge.
Trying.
And he's like, you trying to make money on me? He's like, and I was like, well, man, I was like,
Well.
I was like, literally, I said, this is a business. We have to make money off the things we take in. So that is true. But I was like, that's all I can offer you, man. I wish I could offer more. He straight pointed at me. He's like, you're fucking stupid. And I like immediate like response. I was like pointed back at him. I was like finger right in the face. Like I was like, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, what? And I was like, at that moment, like I calmed back down. I was like, I was like, sir, I was like, get your fucking shit. And I was like saying this all very calm, which is like kind of like
Very passive aggressive because you're still using the F word.
I was like, yeah, very passive aggressive, but kind of like very calmly like sociopath. I was like, sir, I was like, get your fucking shit, and it's like, and get the fuck out of here. And he's like, what? You want to go to the parking lot? Well, he's like, you want to fucking fight? I was like, dude, I will beat the fuck out of you in that parking lot. And I was like, get your fucking shit and get the fuck out of here. He's like, oh, you want to fucking go? He's like, fucking hit me right now, man. He's like, I'll fucking sue you. I was like, I fucking bet you will, you broke ass dude. You come in here asking for fucking money, and I'm saying this all very calm.
Yeah.
And I was like, you come in here asking for fucking money, offer money to help you out in your situation, and you fucking want to fucking make a joke about it. I was like, get your fucking shit and get the fuck out of here. And I'm like saying it like very calmly though. And
that's when Barry was put on night shift exclusively after
and
that.
like no one's like really around. It's like no one was going on. So I was like, me and this guy just having this conversation together. And the guy's like, he's like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. I started yelling. I was like, get your fucking shit, and like fucking like slung his fucking guitar towards him. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And like the dude was probably like 50 years old. Like, and at this point in time, like he started yelling, and like I could smell the alcohol. I was like, oh, well, like I was like, well, clearly
He's drunk. Yeah.
I was like, you're drunk, dude. He's like, you didn't need fucking money to begin with. You're just fucking a drunk fucking douchebag, kind of trying to come up with a story so I can pity party you, you fucking crackhead. And
Damn.
Hey, don't take it on the crackheads. That guy's a drunkard.
yeah, he's a drunkard. And the dude like goes outside, like because he had two loads. He had his hand full of fucking garbage, and so he comes back in and he starts doing like the finger of the nose, like, ooh, I work at a bunch. Like he got back over the counter. He's like, ooh, I work at a pawn shop. I was like, yeah, man, you're real funny, man, but I got a paycheck today because it was a Friday. And he's just like, I was like, yeah, get your fucking shit and get the fuck out of here. Oh, you want to go to the parking lot? I was like, dude, we already went over this. I was like, I will beat your ass in the parking lot, get your fucking shit, and get the fuck out of here. And I was like, don't say another fucking word. Or I was like, I will go out there, man. I was like, just go. And he said something. I was like, just go, man. I was like, you're making a fool of yourself. Just go. And he didn't say another word and just like left. I was like, dude, I will fucking wreck this man. And Jake, so we have this other guy that works here. He's actually our night guy. The dude's pretty fucking large. Like he works out religiously, eats pretty good. Like the dude makes me look, he like towers over me. I mean, he's a little shorter than me, but like the body size, he towers. And I was like, he's standing right behind me. And it's like, you know, he's like laughing his ass off. Like he's laughing about it. I was like, man, dude, if I walked out there, Jake's going to follow me out there. It's like, this guy's going to get his fucking shit wrecked. I was like, just go, man. And it was just a big, ridiculous story. And it's just like, I was like, why is this dude doing this? Like, you're making no sense.
Need that drug money, man. But, dude, that was pretty justified, though, your reaction. And this is a very unpopular justification fight story. So, generally speaking, guys, you shouldn't hit ladies, wives, girlfriends. But when I was in middle school, no, we're just joking, guys. We don't condone violence, especially against women. However,
Speak
there
for yourself,
was
Russell.
one time in middle school where we were walking up, and there was this
Are you talking
girl.
about the story from P?
No,
It was like a pep rally or something.
no, I can't remember
Oh,
what
you're
it
talking about
was.
the dude who kicked that bitch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
buddy. So like
That was
what?
from P.
Yeah, okay.
No, we were coming from the football field.
Okay.
It was like it was some kind of event. I don't remember what it was. It's besides the point.
So pretty much there was this girl that was hitting this guy in the back of the head. And this is one of those guys that, for better or worse, probably would have turned out to be a okay kid, but he
turned out very bad.
the reason
Seen him a
being
few years
is
ago.
because he got abused a lot, and this kid had a lot of pent-up anger, so he had to fight every day. Every day he got home as a 13, 14-year-old, he's having to whoop his stepdad's ass, right? It's a tough life, nothing to joke about. However, he developed a mean roundhouse because of it. And this girl was hitting him in the back of the head over and over.
The reason why
talking,
she was hitting him is because apparently somebody had thrown like a can of Coke or something, and it hit her in the back of the head, and she immediately assumed it was him, and he had nothing to do with it. So at that point, then she goes over there and starts, like, blah, you did this, did that. And he's like, nah, he's just trying to walk away.
just trying to mind his business.
And then she starts, like, hitting him in the back of the head, just going crazy, or whatever. And so she starts going crazy or whatever. The next thing you know is all he does is, he trips her. He's like, pushes her on the ground. He's like, no, I don't want any part of this. So he pushes her on the ground, keeps moving. She's all, like, wide. I was like, he touched me? What the fuck? And so she gets up and starts going back at him. He's still walking away. She starts beating him again. Bah, 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 bah. And so what's do? Turns around, just puts his leg about behind her leg, pushes her over, just over with. She's all pissed off again. Everybody's all like getting upset because he's like touching her or whatever. Like, while I mean, we're like 12, 13. Yeah. I mean, it's all ridiculous to begin with. But anyway, and so third time she goes up there, starts hitting him or whatever. But this time, he's like, all right, you doing this? We doing this. She starts hitting back. He tapes a step back, plants that right foot, comes from grandma's house, and wham! Busts that girl upside the head, roundhouse.
Fucking awesome too.
Dude, like busted her right in the face with a fucking roundhouse, and she's all like sprawled out on the ground. Then all these other girls jump in and start getting pissed off at him, this, that, and the other. It's like, dude,
and like ladies,
getting left.
If you didn't learn, he got some kicks. He got enough for all y'all. He's gonna start spinning around, just windmilling y'all if y'all don't get the fuck back.
Leave hurricane.
Like kung fu hustle out here.
Like, I mean, he did his due diligence though. That's the thing. He's like, I'll always remember that in my back of my head for like ever.
You know what? I remember a story from that same bitch who was punching him. I remember walking down the hallway as high schoolers. That bitch was getting into a fight with some chick right next to me in the hallway. And it's like, oh, damn. I'm like walking down the hallway. I'm just like tired. I'm like, it's like early morning. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to go to class. This bitch fucking throwing hands. And she's like yelling. Throwing hands. And it's like, I remember, all right, she had a ring on. And I know she had a ring on because she punched this bitch in the forehead, right? And like she just, she
split her wig.
She came all the way from fucking, the house with this fucking punch. You know what I mean? And punched this bitch right in the forehead. And it was like a perfect little circle where that ring was on that bitch's forehead, and it started bleeding. And I saw it because it's all in slow motion because I'm like half-ass asleep or baked. I was probably baked. I smoked a lot in high school. And I'm like, oh damn. I was like, I should probably take a step back. And it's like I saw the like blood trickle like right around it. You know what I'm talking about? Just like a little circle on her forehead, like filled with blood. And then they just start going at it. I'm like, oh damn! And then some teachers like ran over there. It's like, damn, that bitch got punched in the forehead. It's like that's like one thing. It's like, you ain't gonna fucking like. Granted, a lot of people get into a fight like they're not experienced fighters. They don't really know where their punch is gonna land. They just want to hit that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anger.
But this bitch was a scrappy hoe. She's been in some scraps. Like she knew when she was throwing that punch that it was going to hit her in the forehead, and that was just a disrespectful, that wasn't going to fuck you up hit, but I'm just going to punch you in the forehead to do it. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Just staggers you. It makes you rethink. Like,
yeah, imagine like, oh, fuck, do I really want to be a part of this? This bitch is about it. Like, she punched me in the forehead, and she wants to see what I'm going to do in return.
Well, the most disrespectful thing you can do, which I've also seen, is you slap a man right across the face, like as a first hit. Don't punch him. But just open hand and just bitch slap it. Dude, that's like the most disrespectful thing you can do.
Dudes, we was at this. All right, so long story short, back in high school, we wound up getting into a scrap with some guys one night, and we kind of won the scrap. It was kind of like a group scrap, like our group versus their group. And we kind of won. So like this older group of guys that was not in high school, like I always showed up at high school parties. They were, I mean, honestly, looking back at it now, they're just,
losers.
Pedophiles.
Just losers.
Honestly, just trying to pick up high school chicks at that point in time because they're all underage and there's pedophiles. Yeah, losers. I mean, straight losers.
Like 23 years old while we're in like high school.
They probably weren't that old. They graduated like two or 3 years before us because they're still in high school.
Yeah, about like 20.
But regardless, I mean, these are high school girls. They're like at the party trying to fuck pedophiles. And well,
pedophilia.
I remember we're at this party, and like sometimes they'd punk us, sometimes we'd punk them because like they would, their manpower would outpower us. We're like, oh, we didn't want to get our shit pushed in, so we just leave, or vice versa. You know what I mean? And we was at this party, and talking about getting bitch slapped. One of our buddies, Tyler, not the Tyler I live with, but another
different Tyler.
And he was sitting next to me. We're like at the beer pong table, whatever. Like there's some chairs beside it, whatever. We're just chilling, waiting for our turn to play some pong. And this guy gets up from across the room. He's like, oh, which one do you want me to slap first? And the other guy like pointed at my buddy Tyler. Dude, homeboy walked over and just like smacked the fuck out of him. Just open palm, slap that man. And Tyler's like, immediately he's like, I'm out of here. Got slapped, ate that shit. Fucking door's right there. Walked out the door, went and got in his car.
Yeah.
Dude, motherfucker cranked the car up, fucking honking horns. Like, where y'all at? I'll get in. I'm leaving. And so the motherfucker immediately turned to me and was like, went to go like do something to me. I'm just like, bop. But I bopped him just right, and he fell to the ground. That's all that mattered. And I won that little scrap. And then after that, our little debacles kind of like slowly faded off after that. It was like, oh man, maybe we shouldn't fuck with these guys. Like I kind of beat up one of our ringleaders of our pedophilia group.
Yeah.
And so after that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. We could kind of do what we wanted to.
Didn't one of them come back and like catch you while you was sleeping or something?
No, that was beforehand. That was like one of our
Oh,
previous
Brody.
debacles.
That was one of the previous debacles.
Yeah, that's why I have the scar on my nose. Yeah, I was sleeping on a couch at my buddy's house. So, we're 16-year-old. I mean, I don't know how much to drink and not drink. I'm just like, fuck yeah,
Just
roll,
living it up.
Yeah, roll tide.
This is
what I mean?
fluid. I drink fluid all the time.
And I was passed out, like throwing up drunk on my buddy's couch. And,
Sloppy boy.
and homeboy just fucking, he reared it up a couple times. Fucking got some speed on that windmill and cracked my nose.
Blew on his thumb a couple times.
And dude, I mean, I was so fucked up. I couldn't do nothing back. I was just woke up to a big old fucking sideways nose, man. I was like, man. I was like, man, I can't even. I figured I was gonna wake up in the morning and smell the fucking daisies. I doubt it.
Hell no.
You
Just
know,
woke up face hurting like a motherfucker.
Nope. Went to the emergency room. They had to reset my nose, man. All sorts of shit, man. After that, then that started our debacles, really. Those pedophiles was like, man, it's like, this is the guy I want to beat up tonight, man. Because they really wanted to fight fucking high school kids. Like, man, you get real, you go home, get your dick hard, fucking after like smacking around some high school kids.
Oh,
Yeah, they were weird. They were just pieces of shit.
That was a weird group of guys. You know what happened to them all? It's really funny now.
I see him in Busted Mobile every once in a while.
You see them
Yeah.
in Busted Mobile. One of them got arrested for like, doing a bunch of methamphetamines. Man, shout out to you, man. If you're listening to our podcast, man, you're a
You know who
fucktard.
you are.
Yeah, one of them
And,
breaks up a marriage from doing one of our buddies' moms.
Ooh.
Ooh, Barry knows.
I knew. But no, the funniest thing, the same guy you speak of cashes his labor finder's check at our pawn shop. He's doing day labor because he can't hold down a real job, probably because of his criminal record and his piss poor attitude.
Speaking of people that cashed a check at your pawn shop,
Oh, son. Shout out to the documentary I just watched. It's actually not even shout out. It's a very sad documentary. That's very, very, very true. But one of the guys from the documentary I just watched, if everyone would like to watch it, it's called Monster in the
Shadows.
Monster in the Shadows. It's 3 45-minute episodes. It's kind of sort of informing.
Very sad.
It's very sad.
Never seen it.
But
Explain
came
what
out.
it's about, Barry.
Oh, okay.
so basically, actually, ironic enough, 2 roads down from my house, which is actually closer than the 1 road it was down from Spencer's house, what was the road all this was going down on? But basically, there was generations of like child molestation where the
incestual pedophile ring is what
Hold
it
on,
was.
hold on.
Yes.
So this is a documentary about where we live?
Yes,
Yes, it
in Mobile,
references
Alabama,
Theodore,
yeah.
Grand Bay, all that stuff.
On Netflix?
On Peacock.
it's on Peacock. It's free. Anyway,
It's a free streaming service.
And
It's
then
pretty good.
So basically, what was going on was a girl went missing. We went to school with, which they see missing, and we assume she was murdered. And
After so
We
many weeks,
know.
We know she's murdered.
yeah, she was definitely murdered, and they have yet to find her remains.
This is
basically
news
what
to
happened.
me.
And then
Brittany Wood.
Yeah.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah.
2012,
and
Brittany
then
Wood went missing.
So basically, her whole family was like in this pedophile ring, where they were molesting the children in the family, and then the children were actually growing up to be the molesters.
It's a
the
vicious
prey was
cycle,
becoming the predators, and so on and so forth. And it was generations of it actually within their family, and like family friends and stuff
What
like that.
was the crazy thing is like it was all nobody knew about it until
Supposedly.
until she went missing.
Yeah,
and
no
then
one-
it just like sprung open the whole can
yeah,
of
yeah,
worms.
yeah.
It was
as-
national news.
Yeah, as they were looking into, her, because she was missing. As they were looking at that, they a lot of, information was discovered and so on and so forth. And about 8 people got arrested, as adults. Like 8 adults got arrested for child molestation, stuff in that category. A guy was murdered. It said it was self-inflicted. It was not self-inflicted because of the gunshot. Oh yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. It's very interesting if y'all want to watch it. But one of the guys who also got arrested cashes his check at our pawn shop, and the other day I was cashing his check, and he must have been coming in for a while, and something you just don't think of, you know what I mean? It's like I remember seeing it all in the news, And see, the guy comes up and he's like, everyone comments on my tattoos. They look like prison tattoos, but they're, everyone's like, oh man, nice.
They're colored though. They're nice tattoos. They're not made with the plastic of a burnt comb.
And the guy's like, oh man, nice tattoos. Where'd you get them from? I was like, oh man, well, I used to live in Colorado. Blah 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, man, I got some, man. They need to be, he's like, they're not the nice. Like, oh man, will you get them reworked? Blah blah blah. We're just like bullshit. You know what I mean? And I'm like already about to hand this guy the money, and I like look back at his check. Like I just watched a documentary like the night before. Look back at his check, and like me and him's like in conversation. He's like conversating with me. I look back at his check, like re-look at his name, and I look back at my computer, and I look up at him. And I just pause for a second. I was like, oh, you that motherfucker. And I was just like, I paused for a second. He paused, and it's like handing him his money. And then I was like, all right, man, have a nice day. And he wouldn't say another fucking word. Like, he was mid-sentence. Realized that I knew who he was. Did not say another word. Didn't respond back to me. And he'll probably never come back in our pawn shop.
Yeah.
Damn, that was awkward.
Shout his name out real fast.
No,
so I know.
no.
No,
We can just blank it out.
I'll tell you afterwards.
yeah,
But no, and it's like, you know what? I almost like, because like his segment, in which if you watch the documentary, you know what I'm talking about. But he did get arrested, and because he was one of the people who was, which is all public information, so it doesn't matter if I say the fucking name or not. But I'm not going
Let's
to.
do it.
But he was molested as a child, and then it reverted back to him being the molester, because that's how he grew up and that's what he knew. And which, in return, he only got 3 years in prison for being a child molester, which, honestly, from our conversation the other day, that man, he didn't seem like he was fucking mentally retarded. I hate to say it that way, but he did not seem that. And honestly, regardless of him doing day labor at some fucking place, he should be rotting his ass in prison. But that's everyone has their own public personal opinion, bleep this or not. But I mean that's what I feel. I feel as if from our 30-second conversation the other day when I realized who he was.
It got really awkward when that
He knew who you were.
no, I'm saying he realized he had been discovered, right?
Yes. Yes, but his ID didn't even say it, which it didn't make any sense to me because it's public information that this guy is a child
Think he
molester.
changed his name?
No,
No.
he did not change his name.
That's how he
But
recognized it.
also too, they were fighting in the documentary. They were saying that they were pushing for it to get removed from his record that he done that because he was so mentally fucked up that was like, he should have been.
Well, I think
he should have been seeking mental help instead of being in prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just argument isn't valid though, because look at somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer. Are they gonna reverse his stuff?
No,
he's,
it's not so much that. I think his thing is like he was like right at 18 when he got convicted though. That was the thing. No, I mean, I think the person was like maybe 15
At the end
or
of the day, it
something.
doesn't
I mean,
fucking matter.
either way, I mean, yeah, it's 100% messed up. But I think that could be a reason why he may or may
is
not
going that route.
or may not have had
But
some kind of
honestly,
anything happen to keep that off his ID.
But honestly, and this is regardless of what he was charged with, from the information that was given, I give a fuck less that guy cash his fucking check or not. I should have fucking said nope. Here you go. Gave his check back. And honestly, but I already had the money. I was like, already handing it to him. It was already like under the sloop.